Oh, we're on.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, hello everyone. It's me and Drew here, and we are going to do some eyeballs. Thank God, finally. So we're going to do that.
Yep.
You know, I mentioned the live blog. Oops, I was supposed to tell. Oh, Drew. Drew's working on a live show for you guys. He's our radio man, TV man. So it is. I've missed you. We've got a video up. We got that video up, right?
Yes.
We got the video up.
Yeah.
So that was good. Chris was on vacation for a week with Jenny, and now you're going, Drew. When am I going to go? Oh, I'm going to Northern Indiana
For 2 weeks.
for 2 weeks.
Nice.
And I'm going to in Northern Indiana for a couple of days. I'm going to the mountains for a couple of
You're
weeks.
lucky.
Yeah. I got to get some mountain air going here. Just touch the roots, you know. I hope you all are doing well. And if you're not, I'm coming there and fixing your body when you're not, when you're gone out of it. Right?
That's right.
We're travelers of the night. We come into your dreams and we fix things, right? It was good to see you guys. I love every one of you guys. You've done so well. I'm so proud of you. All you young people, I just can't say enough good things about you guys. I'm so proud of each and every one of you working yourself into Wellville. You know what? When you wake up to what's going on the planet, it is scary in all levels. There's no question about it. It's the fight. Everyone, government people, everybody have to be aware of the tug between the positive and negative forces right now and not align ourselves with the greed and all this sort of thing. Keep pulling yourself into the now where God is. Go into those deeper levels of yourself and find out who's there waiting. Okay, so what we're going to do is do these eyes here for you. And I want to just go over a few questions just to get these covered because some of them I thought were real important and we wanted to discuss them. This is Diana. Received your vitamins. Well, they're herbs, sweetheart. They're not vitamins, but they got some vitamins in them. I received your adrenal and kidney drops today. So excited. Go, Diana. In 2011, I was in 2 large hospitals, and they tried to put me on dialysis after I got blood transfusions. That's scary. I was a nurse, and this lady is a nurse all my life, so I signed out AMA. It means against medical advice. And come to find out because they don't like you to do that, of course, then they claim the insurance will pay, blah, 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 blah. But, you know, sometimes to save your life, you've got to go AMA out there. So she did just what she needed to do. Come to find out with a 3rd admission, I had MM, and I have received 2 long courses of chemo. Oh, honey. Oh, ho, 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 ho. But you knew with the kidney and adrenal formula why. And this nurse knew that your lymph system was backed up. This is what she's learning. And although now they gave this lady chemo, even though her kidney function was less than 10 GFRs and a creatinine of 15. I mean, that's insane. I have to say that guy, those guys need to go to jail for that one for a little while just to get refreshed, you know. That's bad. Honey, you got some serious kidneys going on here, sweetheart. But this is why the MM, you know, you have to be careful with this. At 15, you're losing your kidneys pretty quick. I had a 28-year-old in here. She didn't give me her age, but I had a 28-year-old in here. Had creatinine at 28. He's already on dialysis, of course, but that's what I'm saying to you young guys. Kidneys, adrenals. I don't care how kooky you think I am. Work on your kidneys and adrenals always. As you're seeing, Drew, you see it everywhere now. And so that's what this lady needed to do. Refuse to allow them to do anything. Thank you, sweetheart, because your kidneys can't take anything. They can't take chemo. That's a good way to send them to Hellville, man. Since my creatinine goes from 4 to 3.2 now, the creatinine. So she's got it down to 4 to 3.2. That's still high. That's dialysis level. All right, and you don't want to go there. Make sure you're filtering. At least I hope you're peeing, because as you start getting these higher creatinines, you start losing the ability to pee. Yep. Fill the boot. Fill the boot. All right. I am determined to get my kidneys healed, and I believe you can help me. Absolutely, sweetheart. This is where I'd probably take a kidney glandular along with 2 kidney formulas. Your adrenal formula was just right on board there. Shift your diet to fruits, berries, and melons, and some vegetables. Get away from every bit of protein you can think of. I don't care what it is. Notice man fights on proteins. That's what they don't get. Medical recommends proteins all the time, but look at the gluten people. These are proteins. Yeah. Well, it's a good way to get business, I guess. What all can I take from you to help? Do you know what MD in the whole world who has a treatment for MM other than chemo and drugs? There is no cure treatment. You can't treat MM or anything else like this and get a remedy. You have to detox. You have to address the cause of the problem, and you'll fine. You'll be fine. You'll get this out. I will go anywhere. Right now, I am in good remission. Yeah, bite your nails on the remission. Don't use remission. Bad word. Bad, meaning you still got the problem and you've got to fix the cause of it, because you can't treat these problems and win. You can't do that. Can't do that, right? But my doc tells me the plasma cells are lurking in there somewhere, and they will return. Man, Diana, get your stuff together. Get on these videos, sweetheart. You're a nurse. Learn what the lymphatic system is, something you weren't taught. Learn the degree of that, the role of the kidneys. This is why it's right in your face. Why the connection between MM and your kidneys right here. It's in your face. Fix these kidneys. Get the adrenals up to fix the kidneys. Get a hold of Jen B. She'll set you up. I do a protocol. It's quicker than getting in to see me. I'll write this up. Get moving. Start right now with your raw foods. 100% raw foods, nothing cooked. When your kidneys are failing, you do not want cooked foods either. Nothing cooked. Get you a bunch of these beautiful little honeys. Now, Damon, you look a little like Matt Damon. Now, this guy, I like this guy. It was a good test for you Facebook people. I thought it was funny. And this is from Damon. This guy's getting discouraged. He's been on the diet for 14 hours. He isn't getting bigger abs yet. The hair's not grown back yet. Gotten off diabetes, hasn't got off of that. Nails hadn't got stronger yet. Man, he's doing something wrong. 14 hours in this program. He should have cleaned these up. 14 hours, you can get rid of tumors at least this big. That was funny. I thought it was funny. A good test. You know, we all got to laugh as much as we can, too. And so, I always forget that myself, because sometimes I get a little serious-minded, too, you know, because we deal with so much serious-minded stuff. And I like to keep it on the lighter side, because nothing really matters. You're not going anywhere. You never were going anywhere. And you'll only find that when you reach your deeper, innermost self, beyond the bodies, to where you tap who you really are. I was watching this dissertation about the universe and how it's made, and all the billions of galaxies and billions of stars with it. Okay. And it showed the different sizes between the Milky Way. The Milky Way is a baby. But it was talking about dark matter. And I think that's important for people to understand now, that physics is trying to understand consciousness and that which drives, that which creates, that which motivates, that which fills dark matter. What is that fills the spaces? So interesting stuff. Varicose veins. Hello, my name is Pat. I have a question regarding varicose veins. I have had them for about 4 years on my lower part of my body. I have been raw for about 4 months and would like to know what herbal formula should I do. I want to buy the herbs on your website, but I would like to know which ones. Well, thanks, Pat. Well, I can tell you this. I would detox myself, go right in, because this is how you get into the glands. This is how you get into whatever it is.
Regeneration.
Yeah, exactly. Detox is always about regeneration. That's the bottom line. So when you have a problem anywhere, think of detox, because that is how you rebuild. That's how you strengthen. Even though the detox that makes you think you're just cleaning your body out, know how we see this and why it's important to clean these acids out of your body for the sake of the cells. And then, of course, when you're talking about varicose veins, even though this is an effect, what cells are involved? Parathyroid. You're putting too much acids into the blood stealing calcium out of the connective tissue of the wall, and you're losing the integrity of the vascular walls. Also, you want to eat high flavonoid foods, fruits, berries, melons, some vegetables, and these are especially the fruits and the berries and the melons, high flavonoids, strengthen the vascular walls, but your parathyroid's ready. You're going to make sure your parathyroid's working. I would do a parathyroid glandular with kelp. And with the parathyroid glandular, I'd probably do 1-3 times a day there for at least a bottle or two. Check that out. Check about the pituitary too, sweetheart. You want to see, did you have menses problems, the height issues. Check and see vitiligo. See if there's a pituitary connection. You want to fix that.
Endocrine glands.
Endocrine glands. You could use the new endocrine gland tonic thing. But she's got some veins she needs to handle fairly quickly. I'd go all on fruits, berries, and melons, clean my body out, get my kidneys, adrenals filtering. Start getting causative factors, start going into the body and rebuilding it. Doing that, though, your specific thought is parathyroid, whether the pituitary is controlling this and shutting it down, or this is a particular problem. Check your basal temperatures under your arms. See what your thyroid is doing with the parathyroid, and check all that out and fix that. You can use glandulars to give you a kind of a quicker pop. I'd add kelp in there when I do the parathyroid. You get a lot of iodine and calcium to trip up the thyroid and parathyroid, and the high calcium of kelp for utilization. Remember, the utilization strengthening of calcium, strengthening connective tissue and skeletal tissue. I'm just going to go through real quick. We want to get to these. Look at this. Getting to these pictures you've sent in so nicely years ago. And this is an athlete susceptible to tonsillitis. Okay. So again, when lymph nodes, think of the tonsils as lymph nodes. When lymph nodes swell, something's backing up, correct? And or you're consuming foods that are extremely mucus forming and therefore filling the throat, sinus, bronchial with mucus. The obvious main food to do that is dairy products. Dairy products are the most mucus proteins on the planet. Proteins, even though you hear protein, that is just a lie like nobody's business. The body responds aggressively against certain proteins it doesn't like, and dairy proteins are by far the most mucosic responsive protein there is out there. With that said, hot things, like if I had something a little spicy, because my mucosa, you get real sensitive eating just fruit and vegetable, you get real sensitive mucosa. And so even cayenne pepper causes me to gasp because it's so irritating to the mucosa when it's sensitive. Sensitive mucosa comes which it should be sensitive, when you're eating your unfired foods. Your fired foods, your dead cooked foods, your meats, your heavy spices of the wrong kind, they trip up and harden the mucosa. Too much cayenne pepper can harden the mucosa. No. Balance, balance, balance. Remember that. Say some balance. Now, this is a 17-year-old. My name is Liam, L-I-A-M, Liam Livingston. And I'm 17 years old. Thank you for being on the YouTube and looking these up. Incredible. I am currently, are you Amish? I am currently planning on doing a short fruit detox over the next few days for obvious health reasons, as I'm susceptible to the common cold. But next time you get a common cold, it doesn't matter what triggers it, whether it's an overgrowth of bacterium, it's just cold air, it's stress, doesn't matter what triggers it, run, baby, with it. Go into fruits. Let your body have it. Clean, baby. Let it come out. If you stop it, remember that last video I went into the acute, the subacute, the chronic and degenerative stages. Well, this is an acute stage, and it sounds like you've already passed these acute stages. You keep adding to these acute stages by dietary habits. And then, these are suppressed. Clean thy lymph system out, and thou shalt not have swollen tonsils or any lymph nodes, because if these are swelling in the throat, you can assume that they're also swelling axillarily, sternum. You can assume that you're also swelling in other places. 17 years old, my friend, definitely kidneys and adrenals. I don't care if you didn't. You would want to hit those always, because for anyone not to have a problem in those areas,
dig deep into that lymph
dig
system.
deep into that lymph system, Drew. Dig deep.
I love that.
Filter.
Yeah.
It's huge. I hate that guy.
That's everywhere.
I know.
All right.
I am also a fitness nut. Good man. Then shift away from protein. Man, we're talking about fitness, how to build up the right way. Use the alfalfas to build those muscles. Use the greens to build those muscles. But make sure you have absorption. And this is another thing with tonsillitis. The question is, do you have malabsorption? That would be the lymphatic system all backing up all the way. And you got to take a look at that. Because if your tonsillitis swells up here a lot, you could be backed up all the way down the gut. And so that could be malabsorption, and you're trying to build up and trying to put muscles on, but protein muscles go. They're the first to leave you when you are eating normally or in the health. You notice that if you build big muscles, if you don't keep it going, they go right away because they're not real. They're fake, they're false basically. You put them on wrong. You can't put, and you acidified your body doing it, and you hurt your kidneys doing it.
You always see these bodybuilders in the future, in time, deflate.
Oh, it's not good.
They deflate.
Yeah, it's not good.
And they look terrible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Take a look. I saw a special the other day on retired bodybuilders and stuff like that. Big guys with chests, and that big guy with the biggest arm that popped his muscle. I mean, it's just sad stuff. You want to build up right. You want to build up with power. You want to build up with endurance. You want to build up with energy. That's raw, baby.
Superfood.
Superfood blend. Oh, a superfood blend, man. It's a killer, baby. But those are the kind of things you want to do. Pump alfalfa juice or alfalfa sprouts and things like this. But fix some things first. Get your lymph system cleaned up first. Even though it might take you down a little skinny, and if you're malabsorbed, maybe a little skinnier than you would like. Okay, fix it. You know what you're on. You're on a journey to Wellville. Get past this initial stage where you're opening up your kidney filtration, you're getting your lymph nodes cleaned, you're getting your body cleaned, and then go for it, baby. Start building. Start growing, but keep it raw and keep it high, because let me tell you, on a fruitarian diet, power will come into those muscles like you've never seen. I don't care if you have vegetables too and you build up with alfalfa, who cares? But get that body up there, get those adrenals up there, the nerve to the muscles. That's another thing you got to realize. A lot of people feel weak because their nervous system is down from the adrenals, and they feel weak in the muscles when it's the nervous system that's down. So always remember to do that. He's an athlete. I was wondering whether there was a permanent solution to optimal health. Absolutely. But you got to do some cleaning first. You got to get some filtering. Get your kidneys filtering. Look and fill the boot, or the cup, as we say, and get this sediment going. Good. And that way, you get this out of you. Clean all this mucus and congestion out of your bronchs, your lungs, and everything else. I recommend that one shouldn't eat meat, and you should also say that a high-protein diet is not necessary. Not if you want to stay healthy and be strong. There's the other thing. Take a look at what these people go through, and of course we do get pro athletes in here in not too good a shape because of the high-protein diets. You got to wake up to that part of that, and once you do, then you'll be able to build yourself up. Remember this, Drew? I don't know if Steve's still got a new book or not. I know this went out of print and he's redoing it. How to put on muscle with raw. But that's where your most powerful animals. I mean, we talked about this a lot. The strongest animals in the jungle basically are the herbivores and the frugivores. The primates, nobody messes with primates, not much. And then, of course, a lion has to be awful hungry to even think about an ape. And then your bigger, your horses, your cows, your elephants, your rhinos. These boys don't take no crap, and yet they're loving people. That's the beauty of being off of protein. It changes this. Man's got to get away from these meat diets to start finding love instead of all this war. This is a warring planet. It's got to change after a while. There's got to be some growth in consciousness, in dark matter. Maybe. Yeah, there's all kinds of fun you can do with nutrition and health. Doesn't matter what modality of athletes you want to get into. You want to have endurance. To have endurance, remember restrictions, resistance, and resistance to the flow of energy is weaknesses, is disease, is these things like this. So what's resistant to the flow of energy in the body? Well, you have three main flows of energy in the body: blood, nerve, and a big one, baby, lymph. And when that lymph, it's the dominant flow of energy. When that lymph gets stagnant and gets hard from being acidic for a long time, it suppresses. The swelling can suppress. You ever get numbness down your hands and stuff, from your neck and stuff? Suppresses, pulls the spine out. I mean, this is all about the lymph system, guys, even though you see the effect into the nerve and the blood. How come we have strokes and heart attacks? Go to the lymph system. How come we have neuropathies? Go to the lymph system. Every time. Fix that lymph system, neuropathies go away, and so does a restricted blood flow. That's simple. That one system controls all the other ones in terms of the flow. So I'll finish this one up here. If you could possibly give me some sort of guidelines as to the types of food I would eat. Well, detox yourself. Get on a high fruit and berry melon diet. And then when you come off of that, pump some green juices. I mean, keep your fruits going so you keep the kidneys flushing as you build and you're building up uric acid or lactic acid. You want to get it out. But at the same time, you pop up with some green juices. Get away from the digestive power or need of heavy vegetables, because that'll take away endurance too, believe it or not. Anytime you give energy away to any part of your body except for muscle and that sort of thing, you're going to lose power. So don't put power in the digestive tract when you need it to the muscles. And so do your green juices. You're in the coconut milks, that's fine. It's canned coconut milk. I don't know if I'm going to go with that. Tinned fish, I don't think so. I would avoid all animal products. Fix yourself. You're 17, got a good mind here, your thoughts are good. Just get your body cleaned out, get your body strengthened up, and you'll do that. The same foods that strengthen you actually clean you. That's a mistake. You don't need to take extra stuff, although I say this, and you can pump the greens pretty good, and then we're good from that. This one question says, if your daughter had come to you for an advice about laser hair removal, what would your recommendation be? I'd say, bring me a drink. I don't drink.
A good drink.
A good drink. We're talking baby, blueberry, banana, cherry.
I do apples,
Apple,
strawberries,
strawberry,
banana smoothies. I put that together.
I love banana apple.
I just like that concoction right there.
You like the strawberry but apple. I like
strawberry, banana, and apple, and I add a heaping teaspoon of the superfood blend. Right there to your blend.
Whoa!
Yeah.
You feel that?
Yeah.
Now see, I like strawberry shortcake. I mean strawberries and bananas.
You're bad. Stop.
Hey, yeah. I've always had years of bananas and strawberries. Now I want banana shortcake. Strawberry shortcake. No. I don't have to worry about that. You know what? That'd be a good question. I'd say if she has excessive hair, I'd be looking at her adrenal glands and see if she has too much testosterone, the first thing. And then I don't know what I'm going to say about that. There's so many crap on the market. There's stuff that you rub on the body and then it takes all the hair off. And it's like, I wonder what it did to the hair follicle. See, this kind of stuff scares the crap out of me. And I know a lot of the ladies, they get a little testosterone, they start growing excessive hair, and I know they don't like that. So, geez, I don't know. I'd bring my steroids into balance, and I don't know what I'd tell her. You tell young women not to do things, but I'd say this. At least look for the least toxic and the least damaging to tissue, because the skin is tissue. The skin is cells. You don't want to damage them, so be very, very careful how she does that. That's the only thing I can say, because I don't know, other than get the steroids under control and that sort of thing. Or definitely avoid it. You just have to be really, really careful. I would probably shave more than I would wax. Well, waxing, I guess you pull that stuff right off. There's obviously some good waxes out there that are not toxic. I'd probably look into that. Dr. Morris, can you do a video on panic attacks and high anxiety and social phobias? Thank you, Alicia. Hell, just being on this planet is a stressor. Well, honey, all I can say is that's adrenal glands, adrenal glands, adrenal glands. Get into the time with yourself. Also, make sure your parathyroid and thyroid's up. That'll give you more strength of self, and the adrenals will give you more strength of the emotions, sweetheart. And going that way, get away from any neurotoxicity you might be around, because neurotoxicity will cause just what you're saying. It suppresses. Anytime I suppress your nervous system, you'll go into can't take a deep breath or shortness of breath and anxieties. And so you want to look at that. Either you have a lot of neurotoxicity or you're with some weakness of adrenals. And of course that corresponds to the autonomic nervous system and your emotions. And that's where most of us have the problem, is the autonomic. But remember, there's over 2,000 neurotoxins on the planet right now, so whatever. Okay, so let's shift here for a minute, and we're going to go into the eyes, baby.
Finally.
All right, hang tight. A little switcherooski.
Okay, Chris. I am
Okay, Drew. Go
zooming
ahead.
into the
All
eyes.
right.
Just
All
want to
right.
let him know.
Oh, you want to let them know?
Yeah.
Listen, I want to have our grapes. Yeah. Okay. Holy moly. Yeah. Fill the boot. Well, here's a nice set. Okay. Now let's see. This is the right eye. Hey, Dr. Morse, I just want to thank you. Oh, thank you so much. This is Jaden. I'm currently working on your detox DVD course, but getting distracted by your other videos. Oh man, good work on yourself though. Really appreciate that, Jaden. I know you guys have sent me this a long time ago. It's just where we are. Hopefully we'll get ourselves caught up on everything, and then we'll be able to be quicker with this, with the live blogs. They're going to be good. That'd be fun. Let me see. Let me see. He just went a great fast. Okay, so Jaden, let's take a look here. The one thing that stands out quite obvious. See all this orange? All this orange stuff is undoubtedly sulfur. So you definitely, and you've gotten this. I don't know how old you are, my friend, but see how this has come out into this near the outside of the eye. This outside of the eye is the subcutaneous parts of the skin, which is down below the top dermis, epidermis, and then you've got the lymph node beds and stuff like this. And so the body tries to carry waste, which is all this mucus stuff, and even the sulfur that's trapped in there, tries to pull this to the lymph nodes to be broken down either by bacterium or macrophage cells that gobble up other cells, and then removed out of the body through the kidneys. Now, this isn't a very large pupil, the first thing that stands out. And there's 4 lights in there, so it's still a very large pupil. I really, I don't know, unless this is a different type of picture, so I don't think it was done in an ophthalmologist's office. So that's a neurological weakness right there. And this is the right eye. This kind of goes back to the cerebellum up here in the brain area. These areas here, a lot of congestion in the right ear area here. So all this is about the ear, mastoid, cerebellum. Now that's your equilibrium center, your center of balance. You get vertigo there. There's a lot of symptoms from that. Swinging blood pressures, inability to fly well, getting nausea on boats and stuff, seasick and stuff like this. This is toward the head, the eye area, and the forehead area, so that's a weakness there. You kind of got these lacunas like I do. The bowel area is obvious, my friend. You really got to spend some time cleaning up your bowel. Now remember, we showed you this thick rope. See this thick orange? It should be white without the sulfur, or yellow, or brown even. But see how thick this is, and it goes all the way around. This is in your bowel wall, and it's stagnant. And that means that your bowel wall is getting harder, and it could ulcerate it, or it could break it down, but it is definitely creating malabsorption. Now, this dark here is right along your stomach, so you've got some stomach things going on here genetically. I would not be a protein eater with this. You want to get up in the brain and get this one too out of here. That's a fairly large lacuna. Over here, here's the kidney. See that big boy right there? That's your kidney. right there. But this is also your femur and your knee down here too. Your right knee, your femur, and here's a big kidney weakness. You want to fix this, my friend. This is up in the prostate, and then this is lower back, mid back here. As we're going backwards, though, you can see that this eye in this genetic line is going down. Here's the hip here, that little black with a lot of lymph. I mean, there's a lot of inflammation in your hip. You're starting to break that hip down. Here's the pancreas area, the pancreatic and right testicle, and then we're up in here with the gallbladder and the upper arm. Here's a bronchial trunk right here. And then we head up toward the right shoulder, right ear, right part of the cerebellum, the back of the head there. And so really you want to make health your gig. You've got a body where you need to get into that and make health your gig. Now this is Jaden's left eye. Now notice all the blood vessels here real red. That's inflammation, acidosis. Acidosis and inflammation. Just know that inflammation is the body's response to acidosis. Again, an enlarged pupil, heavy, thick orange, which is thick lymph with sulfur in it. And this is going to be a fungal eye. This is going to be a person that is going to have a lot of fungal issues, candida type issues. Now, you're seeing a little reflection here. That could be a cataract coming on you. See how it's got that little haze to it there? Could be a cataract coming there in you. Now, look over here. This is your groin on your left side, right into the hip, into the left side. So you've got both hips that you've got to deal with. To fix the hips, you got to fix the kidney. Now this kidney and the adrenal gland is almost lost in lymph. See how thick that is right there, and you see that little spot right there is the adrenals. Well, there's the kidneys below. Really work on your kidneys, man. Work on your adrenal glands. That's how you connect. Here's the prostate, some genetics there, a little bladder going on. The back, not too bad. Weaknesses up and down it, though, of course. Here's a big throat weakness. So I can tell you, when you see weaknesses like this, expect to have a symptom there, and that symptom is probably going to yield you a sore throat. These darker black areas, more stomach, and bowels. So here we go. Now here's the spot up here. Just looking at this, this is cerebellum, left ear. So this guy had head problems here, ear problems. Look at this here. This is the left ear, cerebellum. I don't like that at all. So I don't see a lot of nerve rings, which is great. You got maybe a couple little ones here, but you do have some setups here for MS. Now, this is right at the heart area, and that could be bronchial trunk, but I'd almost be willing to put some money that there could be a little genetics in the heart. Generally, it's down here a little bit, but this could be bronchial trunk or heart, man. So you definitely want to clean the lungs out, get into bronchial trunks, strengthen the heart later on with the heart formula. See that right there? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's right where this is. It's right where you see that on the wall right there.
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock, yeah. 3 o'clock.
3?
Yeah, see, that's 3 o'clock right there. Mm-hmm. It's about 2:30 to 3. Most of the time it's sitting right at 3 o'clock, which this is, as you see over there on the wall. See that? Mm-hmm. This is the rib cage here. So the rib cage also, the lower rib cage here, looking for parathyroid. Now this is thyroid right here. And the parathyroid is lost in congestion, so you're right up there, right there. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So this, you really want to get some power behind cleaning the body out. And what's going to be frustrating there, Jaden, is the sulfur there is so heavy that it could create some problems there for you getting that out. But you want to get that out. I can say you've had that there, I can safely say, all his life. His mother could have had sulfur within her. Airplane, see you in April. All right, I'm a male of 41 years old. Sayer, this is, okay, so let's look at this. What color of eye would this be? Matter of fact, what color of eyes does Jaden have? Those are blue. Those are blue eyes. This would be brown if it wasn't. This is green and orange and yellow. This is blue, believe it or not. And this is another blue eye. Now notice here. Notice how this dark brown is a circle around the pupil. And within that you have another circle. Almost a perfect circle in here. That's a stomach ring. You should not see the stomach ring. Then outside of the stomach is the bowel. And all this, see that dark spot right there? That's in the hepatic flexure. That's right where they reflects to the liver. That's right where that curve is from the ascending going across. Now look at how you pick up these radius solaris. Not real deep now, but certainly there. And this, of course, is picking up the pituitary and pineal gland in here. And these are all off of this transverse bowel wall. Common place to have resections. So this is chronic. Brown is chronic in a blue eye. Remember we talked about the 4 stages? And you see the 4 stages in this guy. This whiter stage is your acute, the yellow stage is subacute, and the brown is chronic, and that's becoming black. And as that becomes black, it becomes degenerative. That's why you want to handle this. This is right, looks to me, in the bowel wall. If it's not, it's right up in the ear brain area.
Yep.
Yeah, right up.
11.
Well, this is right eye. He's right up in there. See that right in there?
That's the ear.
Yeah, ear. That's ear and heading toward that mastoid right there.
Brain.
See that back of the brain right there, the cerebellum we talk about?
Yep.
That's right there, and that's it.
It's on the border.
Yeah.
Right
Now
there.
see, that's either in the bowel wall or it's outside of the bowel wall. That's what you have to look at. Is this little black space into that wall, or is it sitting on the outside of that wall? Either way, it looks like a deep genetic weakness there. As you look out into here, he needs to strengthen the fibers up a little bit. But you see how eyes are made with fibers? Think of an eye like a wagon wheel. Think of an eye like a wagon wheel. So here's the kidneys and adrenals. So you got a little kidney going on here. Uh-oh. I bet I'm losing my battery. We'll see. And there's the adrenals. There's the femur, the right leg. Let me see. There's 7-Eleven batteries. No wonder. We got new ones. Let me see if this will be just enough to do this. Yeah, enough for right now.
I can have them switch out.
You can?
Yeah.
All right.
This is double A or triple?
I got some in the camera room. Yeah. Go ahead and I'll talk about this.
Do you have your other
I'll
pen?
use my pen
All right,
here.
all right.
I'll use my pen. Go ahead, man. Yeah, now as we're getting into the hip area here, this is the right hip, you're getting some chronic buildup of lymph, which is extreme inflammation. Then we start moving toward the gallbladder up here, the pancreas and right testicle, little weakness. Now we're into the gallbladder. Right up in there is the gallbladder. Wouldn't hurt for you to work on your liver gallbladder for a while here. This is the right breast or chest area. If this is a female, you've got to fix this. And even if it's a male, you've got to fix this. Meaning you got to get the kidneys to start filtering all this sewage down through them and get this breast or chest area cleaned out. Also, there's a skin weakness. See this dark area around the eye here? That's the skin area. That's not allowing for proper elimination, and so you're holding all these blood vessels everywhere. Shows extreme inflammation throughout the body. So the diagnosis with this case could be fibromyalgia, lupus, Lyme's, things like that, because you're seeing, and then the chronic bowel could lead him into some more serious diagnosis, particularly an area that black area right there. That could be a little more serious of a diagnosis. Now here's left eye, same thing. See all these blood vessels. This is a highly, but if you step back and you looked at that eye, the first thing you're going to say, ooh, high acidosis. That's the first thing you're going to see, high acidosis. Brown and blue, it's dirty looking. This is a blue eye, so this individual's got a lot of work to do. This is right in their pituitary gland, so that's when you start to see thyroids and parathyroids going down from pituitary weakness. Again, chronic bowel and stomach area showing itself quite aptly. There is a little bit of an orangish hue, so there could be some sulfur in you. And so you'll have to see. Here's the nerve rings here. See these rings that are like age rings? in a tree. Well, these nerve rings here are part of the autonomic nervous system, and your left adrenal stuck up there in a chronic order here. Here's your kidney on the left side, the rectal wall on the left side. You're walking into the bladder. Thanks, Drew. Oh, yeah, much better. And you can see that this is actually the leg here, the kidney, almost the shape of a kidney right here. The prostate, if it's a male, if it's a female, the uterus is just full of lymph. And then we start going up the back here. Again, more skin. So this is a person also that really wants to open up the body. Check the pituitary symptomologies. Get your glands up. Get your adrenals up. Really do the brain and nerve to strengthen the nervous system up there. I'd use upper circulation to get up in the head area and really start working on that. The same with Jaden here. Get up with upper circ and brain and nerve. When you see brain weaknesses up in here or lacunas and things, use upper circ and brain and nerve with these. But this person's got a lot of work ahead of him. So is Jaden, because you've got to open up this body and get this going. And so getting those adrenals are really key. Getting that chronic bowel dealt with is really key here. Love you, man. Thanks a lot, guys. Keep up the work. I know these are late getting to you, but keep up the good work here. This is Stacy. She's from Massachusetts. Stacy, my dear. Let's show you your, these are a little dark, but let's, can you see that in the camera? Mm-hmm. Okay, so these are blue eyes. You see a little orange here, sweetheart, there, so it's a little bit of a sulfur thing. But now look at your bowel wall. Remember, we saw that on Jaden there. Now look at that thick rope look, that thick white rope look, all the way around your bowel wall here. Now this is the GI tract that wraps around the pupil here. I don't know if we've shown any charts up online, but maybe we should show some charts up. But that definitely shows malabsorption. Now you see these two little flashlights here? See those two little lights there? That's what lymph nodes look like. Oh yeah, that's now I can see it right there. Can we see this one to do that? Oh yeah.
It's brighter.
Oh yeah, that works out good. See, these are lymph nodes, sweetheart, and these lymph nodes are in your probably, this is close to the thyroid gland. This could be the tonsil up here, but this could be the throat as well. You want to get this stuff out of here. You want to get these lymph nodes to dump. This could be, when you start seeing some of these, you get these diagnoses of having polyps in the thyroid gland and stuff like that. So you want to get all that cleaned out there. There's the upper neck here. There's a little weakness going on here, a little mid back here. We come around here, and this is where you start to encase the kidney and the leg. Your whole leg is encased, your groin is encased, your kidney's encased, the vaginal wall is in this whole area that shows weaknesses. Bladder, vaginal wall, uterus, kidney, leg, groin, and hip. All those things are directly hit and impacted by these kidneys, and these kidneys show pretty dark here, so it's enough to say they're probably in the chronic stages or something close to that. I'd work on this. This is back to liver, gallbladder up in here. Here's your arm, and then here's your lower chest wall. So you want to just get those kidneys filtering and clean all this lymph out of here and strengthen the liver, gallbladder. These other tissues are strengthened. This is going into the lungs. This is impacting the upper lobe of the right lung pattern right here. Hard to see up in this area. This is up in the brain area, frontal lobe. So I would really get up in that head of mine, get the sinuses drained out there, get some upper circ, brain, and nerve, and open up this bowel. Use the GI broom, stomach and bowels, and open up this your absorption, because you got malabsorption. Don't forget those kidneys. Now we see a little more look here in her left eye. Now when you see these blood vessels like this, see how this one's kind of crooked but still pointing right here. See how I can go straight across where this ends right over here, and I see a pretty big lacuna. See that darker look? Is that rain? Oh,
hey,
like we
Florida.
need more rain, man.
It's Florida.
It's Florida.
Yeah.
I'm not bitching. Not bitching.
Are you sure?
So, well, I'm bitching a little bit. All right, it's a little bit. So this is the left eye. So this is where you're going to run up your back. And this is going to, this is probably in the T-spine. And that needs to see how that lacuna is wrapped with that white stuff or yellowish white stuff. That's what Jensen was saying, that these genetic weaknesses have a compromised lymph flow, and here we've talked about that, and you see that in your lacunas. Look, every one of your lacunas here has a lymph stagnation involved in this. And so you really want to deal with this. This is getting up into the throat again. And here you've got lymph nodes swollen on the left side of the throat again. This is getting up into the thyroid, parathyroid gland. This is the upper neck, the mid back, the lower back. You see how we're putting all these things? This is the bladder. So you got some serious bladder things here. We got to get going. Little vaginal wall too. A little douching would be very helpful here. And open up and clean this up. Get this kidney filtering. You've got a kidney right in here. And then again, it's picking up a little of the left hip and things like that. These are lymph nodes starting to show themselves up. Big skin ring here. So again, opening, cleaning, opening, flowing, getting everything moving. That's how you get healthy. Okay. Thanks a lot, sweetheart. I appreciate all your guys' love and everything. Okay.
5 more minutes. Right?
Yeah, a couple more minutes.
Yeah, do 5 minutes if you want to.
Yeah, that's, oh my God, we have so many of these eyes, holy crap. So let's go, all right, so let's do a couple of these. Let's do this one, because we want to come back here, Chris, because these have been here for a long time. We want to come back and...
Too long.
Too long. These are ones you gave me for outlines. Okay. This is Alex. Alex.
That's a nice eye.
Yeah.
Like
pretty. You know, I mean, it's different and it's pretty. But when you look at it, it looks a lot like mine where these fibers are starting to get patterns in them. And all this white you see, here's another blue eye. All this white that you see in this eye is lymph. Then you see a little yellowing, that's sulfur. Little orangish yellow, that's sulfur. Not heavy. But look at here, we have the same scenario here as Jaden. We have the large pupil. We have a thin rope around the GI tract wall. I think your stomach and bowels should be strengthened up quite a bit. Your sinuses are kind of backed up here. This is right, probably that isolate is at the pituitary gland right there. So that could impact. This is in the thyroid area. This is in the upper neck area. And you just got spattered weaknesses here and there. Need to clean that lymph system, get that thyroid and pituitary up. It'll strengthen these fibers. Boy, look at this. This doesn't hold anything. Look at this. Look at that.
Changed them.
I know.
Here. Just reverse them, I guess.
We'll see. Maybe it's just too much energy coming out of me this morning.
Probably.
No. Maybe. So there's a little kidney weakness right there. And you see that little round dot there, and then that lymph around there. Your adrenals are nestled right up in there. Heavy lymph around the adrenals. This is probably prostate right up in that area there, and starting to affect the bladder in the back. You swing around here. We got a little hip, I think, going on here. Maybe a little pancreatic, right testicle, gallbladder. Big time sitting up there by itself going, help me, help me, help me. So I get into the liver gallbladder formulas. And really, there you got nerve rings here. And really, just a good eye to detox and get healthy.
I think the laser's saying, help me, help me.
I think the laser's saying, help me, help me. I can't find my 2 lasers. I don't know what I did with them. Gotta find my school stuff.
On break, I'll switch them out again.
Okay, but
Just in case.
that's
Yeah.
weird. Look at that. Look how it's phasing out. The laser's fading.
There's too much energy.
Too much energy in this room, Drew. But it's about the same thing. This is the left eye here. Of course, you see around the back area, a lot of inflammation. This couple black areas in the mid-back suggest a little deterioration possible. Stomach needs to be cleaned up, bowels cleaned up. Open up this. You're not very malabsorbed, but you are a little bit. Did you find it? No, that's a flashlight. I had my 2 lasers that I use in class. I don't know what I did with them. I'll have to go buy me some more lasers. So just some things like that. You got some lymph nodes that are swollen. The skin needs to be refurbished here. You're getting heavy thickness up in the scalp area here. You could lose your hair.
Yeah, let me see.
Yeah, see what the heck that is.
See what's going
So
on
that kind of, Alex, that kind of, you've got a pretty cut and pure way to go. Now, what is she saying about these? These are the ones you gave me for outlines. Oh. Okay, so toxic skin problems, 19-year-old female. I recently sent in a photo, but I'm sure it went through. So, oh man, I'm sorry to get to these so late, guys, but
That's very nice.
yeah, got nice eyelashes. Yeah, there's your right kidney, sweetheart. That's showing up, kidney and adrenals. Now look at all this orange. What color of eye should this eye be? Right, blue. See, we don't have any brown eyes really here right now to show you, but this is a blue eye. Now, see that big wad of mucus right there? That's either, I don't have this mapped out to show you, but that's probably vaginal wall. Now this could be a serious tumor coming if you don't get that cleaned out of there. Bladder's right there, I believe. Now I haven't mapped these out perfectly, but we're real close onto the spot. And it's enough to tell you that that needs to be rectified there to get that lymph going. There's your kidney there. You want to fix this kidney. Also the leg. Your right leg is weak, and that's going to see a knee coming down the road there. But that's your kidney there. You want to fix that one up. That's a weak kidney. With that said, here's the hip that matches the kidney and the hip and the leg. Notice that you always see the kidney, the leg, and the hip, and that's what you see. Now we move on the other side of the hip here, and we've got the pancreas, and we've got the ovary, the right ovary. Look how I'm fading with this thing. This is a piece of crap. Cheap. Cheap. Now look at this thick. Forget that. Look at this thick mucus buildup here. See that thick mucus buildup there? That's right in the arm. It looks like arm or liver gallbladder. It's probably more like liver gallbladder. Real thick, a lot of congestion in there. And you have some weaknesses in the arm and then the chest and then the right breast area. And that's another thing. Now you see that's a lymph node that's swollen, but that's more at the lower lung lobe there. So you've got some congestion in the lungs there. You want to clean that out. Now notice these little black lines. These little black lines here are little radii solaris. Mm-hmm. And they get bigger and bigger and bigger. They go right into her stomach. So there's a weakness in that stomach tissue. You want to work on your stomach and bowels. You want to drain your sinuses because you notice you see more blue or green down here than you do up here. And this is your brain, sweetheart. So you want to clean all this out. This goes up into the cerebellum, your equilibrium center. With that said, we're over here with the parathyroid gland. We're over here with the throat again. There's the tonsil area. Little mid-back, and then got some nerve rings here, which is your autonomic nervous system. That's your adrenals right up in there. This is a big skin ring, sweetheart. So, yeah, you were mentioning skin. She's toxic skin problems. She's right on. She's only 19 years old. So she's got weak skin. These are weaknesses of cells, and yet it's an organ that's supposed to breathe. Again, big skin ring, thick skin ring, so I can see why she's having skin problems. And these things are not going to be rectified overnight. They are rectifiable, and it doesn't take forever either, but they are rectifiable, but not overnight. Now, you see that black area there? That looks to be either kidney or leg, and my guess, you're either looking at that being the kidney, can you see that, Drew? Mm-hmm. Or that being the kidney. If that black spot's in that kidney, that's some deterioration of that kidney. Now, straight down 6 o'clock is the leg. Straight down 6 o'clock. Now, that could be the left knee. And that right there is a lymph node swelling or a little cyst or something there. You want to get that out of there. But that's either knee or kidney. It doesn't matter because that would be the knee, that would be the kidney. And then you got the rectal, which is really thick with lymph, and then you got vaginal, which you want to douche and clean this up. Get that kidney filtering this, because you start to pick up back weaknesses, then lower coccyx, bladder, coccyx, lower back, mid back, and then this darkness is up at the throat, or impacting on the thyroid gland. And these are radius solaris going up into the brain area. That might be somewhat impacted to pituitary. But you got a good body to get well. Get these lymph nodes cleaned up. Yet all this orange, of course, is sulfur. So here's another person that's fighting candida and fungal problems. It pulls you away from the raw diet. It tends to pull you into starches and cheeses and stuff. But you know, this is a fungal
right?
Proteins too.
Doctors will push the proteins, and they'll tell them to stay away from fruit.
I know.
They'll tell us to stay away from fruit.
But you're going to the insane to try to find sanity. And you can't find sanity within the insane, or could you? So this is an interesting eye here. You can get yourself very healthy, sweetheart. You got some work to get this lymph nodes broken loose. They've probably been swollen all your life. Get all in that bowel area. Get that GI broom. Clean this sulfur out there, sweetheart. Go after those kidneys. And just in the case that this is the knee, work on that parathyroid. That could be part of the parathyroid. The pituitary could weaken the parathyroid, but I would focus on the parathyroid a little bit. Maybe the pituitary for one bottle or whatever. Definitely go into the kidneys and adrenals and fix those kidneys. Get this lymph, get your skin breathing. And then check your basal temperature so you're not too cold. If you're too cold, you can't sweat, and if you can't sweat, your skin can't breathe. And if skin can't breathe, then you know what happens with that. Some of these have rather long letters attached to them.
Or books.
Yeah, let's see. This is Brittany. Hi, sweetheart. Brittany, this was Brittany's right eye here. Now, the same type of thing. This is a blue eye. Now, all this white that you see in this blue eye is lymph. All this white is lymph. And notice that it's accumulating just outside of this skin ring. So here's another case where here's a female, her skin's down. And this could be just the nature of it, but there's some bumpy. So I have to say that you got to refurbish your skin as well. Getting into your lymph nodes is how you do it, because you got to break open this subcutaneous lymph node / area to get your skin to breathe. Looking in here, you have a darker look toward the pupil. Now I'm doing the best I can with the type of pictures I have here, but this is a darker look into the stomach area. So I think your stomach's way too acidic. As a matter of fact, it's almost like going past that toward the low HCl. I wouldn't do any proteins at all. Give your stomach a break there. Work on your GI tract. I don't think that's a pituitary, but this could be the pineal gland, gland of rest. These are all lymph nodes swollen in your lungs here, up near your ear. This is a pretty gnarly looking little fella here. This looks like your right hip. I mean, your kidneys are lost right in here, so they're not overly bad, but all this congestion here, this is more than likely the vaginal wall. If it is, there is some deterioration there. We got to look at that, maybe douche with up there and strengthen that, but this would make this the bladder. Yeah. Nope, right there, right eye. Go, yep, go to 5 o'clock. Oh. Right there. See, there's the kidney, bladder, the vaginal, the uterus. I mean, it's not, you got real good genes as far as I can tell. Now, this is a ballooning of your bowel. See this? This is this hepatic flexure, this curve. This is ballooned abnormally, but then it comes down to a spastic or a prolapsed transverse bowel. So that initial portion just outside or proximal to the hepatic flexure. I think that flexure is more like a pocketed area, and then you got a prolapse or spastic portion as you start your transverse journey, and then you start to see some weaknesses off the transverse. By looking in your left eye, let's follow that over. And we see a little bit here, maybe a little prolapsing, a lot of sinus here. When you come around to the splenic flexure, you've got this real dark, almost like a pocket, almost like it's prolapsed with a pocket. That dark area I don't like. Now here's something I don't like now. Could just be the picture. See, this is the problem with it. You got to give some saying. It could be the picture's dark. It makes these lacunas look dark. But this is up near your cerebellum and your left ear. Nothing good comes of this. So you want to get in with upper circ, brain and nerve, start moving those lymph because your lymph system here is stagnant. This has been locked in here, you can tell, for a long time, and you're developing a very skin issues here. This is a genetic heart weakness here, so you want to strengthen that heart, use the heart formulas. But see how that lymph in the wall of the heart? It's so important to get your lymph moving because this is a congestive heart failure issue in the future if you're not careful with all that lymph suppressing blood and nerve flow into the heart. Remember, the lymph can suppress blood and nerve flow. You don't want to suppress that in the heart. Now we find where the real kidney weakness is in hers on the left side. So we got, there's your little adrenal gland right there. That's chronic. There's your kidney. That's more chronic, and legs involved, and groin is involved here. And as we work around, we see more rectal, female, and bladder. And then we got lower back going on here, and you see how dark that is. So really, you want to get in there, get your kidneys and your adrenals up, get your lymph moving, get your skin breathing. That's, check your thyroid. Now this is in the thyroid, and you see heavy white. So that's where you get your nodules, your goiters, and all this in the thyroid. You want to get your thyroid going. Little throat weakness. So there's a sore throat coming here. So you get in there and you get moving. This is why we say you always detox first, and then during that process, rebuilding starts, and then you can super focus on that after you get into that level. We're going to have to finish this up at another time. You want to do one more?
Yeah. Get one more.
Let's do one more. I want to get somebody that's been waiting a long time.
All of them.
I know it. I am highly disappointed with that. This is an interesting look. When you really get in and you start to look at the fiber web of this, and I thought this was an interesting picture, how you can see how deep these genetic lines are, and these patterns here really does show up deep here. And you can really get a look at that eye and how it's built when you see these patterns. And to think that when you get into the body and correct these, it just totally changes the nature of what you're seeing here. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. And that's what Jitsu, when you turn the eye sideways, as you go through these acute, subacute, and chronic, it pulls these fibers up. But you notice when you start getting more into generative areas, it puts holes in there. So it's a good look there. Now let's see if I can pull an eye that's been here for a while. Well, we'll grab this one. There's so many eyes, guys. I apologize over and over. This is Mimi? M-I-M-I?
Mimi.
Mimi.
Or Mimi.
Mimi. She's a 22-year-old female from Finland. I sent my funny eye pictures with this email. I have lots of problems, dry hair and skin, pimples, extra thick hair on legs, mustache, cold feet and hands, stomach hurting always. Ooh. -4, 5 eyesight, pressure in head, headache on the morning, neck stiff, edema everywhere. Okay, so right off, pressure in the head, headaches in the morning, stiff neck, edema. That's heavy lymph. And acidosis, that's why the edema, that's why the stiffness, the pressure in the head, especially the face. You've got to get this out of here. Face swells, ankles, fingers. My body temperature is 96 degrees Fahrenheit, very cold, low thyroid. And I've had big hard lymph nodes around my neck since I was 14. No, sweetheart. No, Mimi. You've got to get those lymph nodes out of there. You've got to break this loose, sweetheart. No. I have quite little breasts and monthly periods few times a year. Major pituitary, I haven't even looked at her eyes. but you know immediately she's got pituitary problems. She's probably running higher testosterone than estrogen, so she's more manning up look type of thing. The high acid dose, the pressure in the head, the bowels are involved. She can't drain her lymph. She's highly acidic, so she's holding water, and she swells everywhere. Yeah. Her hair's dried out because of that. She's got absolutely. So let's take a look at the person we are now talking about.
See, I like her eyes though.
I do too. I do too. And to tell you the truth, this is not a difficult case to fix. However, you now start to see these blood vessels kind of focusing right in on her thyroid gland. Mm-hmm. Well, she's 96. No wonder. So very cold here. She's talked about some pituitary problems. The problem is we can't even see the pituitary because it's just encased in thick mucus that has sulfur in it. All this orange is sulfur, sweetheart. And so this is going to cause you some acid reflux in another way here. So you've got to get this out. Yeah, you got to clean up the bowels. You see weaknesses along the bowel area, so you want to clean that. The stomach pain is hard to see. Your pupil's so small. But it correlates with all these blood vessels. You're highly inflamed, and this is why you see systemic edema. All these blood vessels are also telling you the same thing, that you're systemically acidic. So you come down here and look what we find. Look at that kidney. Look at that right kidney and adrenal gland. There's the adrenal gland, there's the right kidney. You got to get on that, baby, and get that moving. With that said, this looks to be either bladder, that's probably more vaginal wall, to be honest with you. Could be bladder, but I think that's more vaginal wall. I would douche anyway. Douche and work on that. Kick up your pituitary with either the female reproductive formula, which would be a good formula for you to take, and see if that's enough. You got to drain your sinus cavities, though, and get up in your brain. Here's a couple places here. Looking at that, here's the leg, but then here's a hip coming at you big time. And then when we get beyond that, we're into liver, gallbladder, maybe a little pancreas and ovary here. And we get up in, here's your neck, upper neck, here's your mid-back, lower back, here's your throat area. So yeah, I would really get in there and start moving my lymph. I'd get upper circumbranial nerve sometime in this and get up in there, get liver gallbladder work on this, get that kidney fixed in the adrenal gland, use some douching and maybe a female reproductive. If that's not enough to trip your pituitary, you want normal monthly cycles, and you want those lymph nodes around that head. I mean, you got to break this loose, sweetheart. No matter what you do, you want to break this loose. See, these are serious cases. The trouble is just my time and getting to all these eyes. But I do appreciate you sending them, guys, and apologize up and down. But don't let that stop you. You got the other videos. Whenever you know lymph, go after it. Doesn't matter. Just go after your lymph system. Again, we're seeing, bowels. You're seeing a little ballooning here of bowels and a little stricture here. You see a little spastic descending colon right here. As you turn around toward the ovaries, this is the sigmoid bowel. You're down here toward the left ovary. That's not a real happy little fella. And of course, we're starting to get into the groin here. And then, of course, here's a lot of lymph and a lot of inflammation in that leg. And now you're picking up a little kidney here. That little kidney weakness, you got to fix that. The adrenal gland you almost can't see because it's so full of mucus. And this is where you start popping adrenal tumors and cysts and stuff like that. It's when the lymph system becomes stagnant in these areas. Same thing, a little rectal wall weakness with a lot of lymph going on here. Want to clean all that out. Now, we're looking at vaginal wall weakness. Definitely want a douche here. And picking up also bladder, coccyx, lower back, the lower L spine. Down here in the T spine here, and maybe a little of the C. The throat here. This is more thyroid here. So this is a real chronic thyroid, sweetheart. Here is a pituitary. You see it's real dark in that area here. These are spots. This is in the cerebellum ear area. So this is equilibrium, vertigo here. So you want to really open this up. You got pressure here. You're not draining here. So your shoulder on the left side, your ear, your cerebellum, that's all involved. You want to pull that out, get those kidneys filled, go after that lymph system, start breaking it loose, cleaning up that bowel, GI broom and things like that, so you can get all your eliminative organs moving, breathing and filtering, and that'll help pull all this clean. And I would do the thyroid glandular for sure. And I do the female reproductive first, then the thyroid glandular, maybe a little parathyroid. Then I would shift, if that's not enough, and get off the thyroid and go up here to the pituitary. Or you could do one bottle of pituitary with the thyroid. You're going to have to work on that thyroid gland. All these blood vessels show heavy acidosis and inflammation. And this girl's suffering quite a bit, and she needs to work. She's been suffering 14 years old. So, sweetheart, you got to get off the milks and all that kind of stuff. Hit yourself total raw. Start getting into that bowel because you got a nice eye. You don't have heavy lymph, but it's in the sinuses. It's in around the gut wall. It's in places. And just get in there and really do yourself a good detox number and pull all that swelling and edema out. The only way you're going to get rid of the edema is to get rid of the acidosis, and that, of course, is getting the kidneys and the filtration of the kidneys. This is Esther. Let me see here. Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate your comments there. I've had pimples on my back for a few years now, mainly up and back to back. Let me see here. Outer inner rim. Also, do you think I have cleaned up my system that the brown in my eyes would go? And I would like to have pure green, bluish eyes. Someone once told me that the eyes change colors as you detox your system. That is correct, Esther. So let's take a look at Esther. She's given us a full frontal face on. What we see here is blue eyes. That all this whitish, yellowish in these pretty blue eyes. See all that whitish, yellowish? That's all lymph. Honey, that's all lymph. So you've got a lot of lymph going on in your eyes here. And this ring that you see around the outside border, that's your skin. So here we've got another skin problem down. Probably because there's thyroid, and that little line right there is right in her thyroid, right thyroid gland, and maybe a little left. Here it looks like we're starting to pick up a little brown around the pupil. If that's a orange, sweetheart, that's going to be sulfur. But that also, if that's brown, could be chronic bowels. So definitely stomach and bowel problems exist here. Need to clean up that area of the body. Yeah, there's a weakness right here. Looks like kidney and adrenals. Hard to see because you have so much lymph that's up on top of your fibers. So it's real hard to see your eye. And then they're awful dark. I can't hardly see at this level of darkness. This looks like your left kidney over here, your upper neck here. Looks like a thyroid here. But I would need better pictures to really, not tell you something that didn't exist. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's a little better there. Mm-hmm. That little black spot is right there near the spleen area. This little black spot over here. See that right in there? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, that could be kidney right there. We're talking about this spot right here and this spot right here. We're looking at it at the camera. It looks a little better. But again, this is a lymph. Clean thy bowels out, lymphatically speaking, of course. Get this kidney. You can see this kidney sticking up right here. Get your kidneys and adrenals up. You're going to have to detox that lymph, get that skin breathing. Check your basal temperature to see where your thyroid is. If you need a thyroid bump, take a thyroid bump. Very difficult for me to see if you have any pituitary there, dear. But that's what I would do, is head off and go up there, Esther. Get your skin breathing. That's thyroid and working on the skin, dry skin brushing and all that. But it's also getting those kidneys, getting fevers or getting some saunas going, things like that. And open yourself up. Clean. All right, so we have to pull this. I tell you what, though, we'll finish up. I'm going to leave these right here. We'll finish up. We've got some nice eyes to go through. Here's some more heavy sulfurs and stuff. So we'll do these at the next time. Once we find my pointers, I don't know what happened to them. What you got there? The grapes, baby. Want one? You can set that out there and let people take on it if you want.
Of course, yeah.
Love you guys. Thank you so much. Well, I'm sorry that we got all these videos down. I'm kind of disheartened about that. We're trying to get them up, but to put all those videos up,
we need to be
what
here.
We figured up about a year.
No, we need to be here to put them up.
For taking your no more. Put this out to the employees. No more vacation time
After this week.
After this week, because you're going to New York. Well, you have fun. You all have fun on these programs and do your best. And I know some of you are hurting. The stories we get here are hair-raising, but that's what we're here for. We're here, all of us, working together as one to help this world and to help lift the consciousness up, even if it's a little bit. So keep up the good work. You're all doing good. A shout out to all of you guys. What do we hear about the quad that went to the hospital for pneumonia? How's she doing? Dave, how's she doing? Haven't heard. Listen, there's some cases that are tough. And you guys in wheelchairs, especially the quads out there, you guys are up against some tough things, especially with breathing and detoxing. So there's all kinds of things out there tough. That's why I've said many times before, detoxification, don't underestimate it. It's an art. You have to learn how to work this and get people to Wellville, because this is a serious issue. And people have suffered all their lives over things that are so simple they should have never suffered. And of course, in this world, it's always been about the money, the id, and everything else. And so with our love and our power and our focus, we should change that. So love you guys. Namaste. May the blessings be. You all have a great day and keep working on your health. And if you need anything, you get in a position, don't forget, pick up the telly. You can always pick up the telly. And we are busy, that's for sure. But if it's a serious question or a serious issue, you call up the telly. Talk to Drew or someone here, because we're here to help you get through this. And don't sit there if you're serious and your life is threatened and do it on your own. You need some help, we're here to help. The Facebook full of beautiful people that can help. So, as we grow and get bigger and more people everywhere, we'll have people in your own town you can look to help you. Now, it's hard because most practitioners are treatment-based thinkers. So now you treat your problem, like that MM, you don't treat anything. And you nurses out there, you're the people that can move into this field so well. And I know a lot of you are frustrated with chemicals. So this is a perfect field for you nurses. And you have to change this whole concept of treatment-based thinking and understand causative working. And that's what you're doing. You're focused on causative thinking. You're removing causative factors, the reason why you suffer. That's what you're removing. And that's key. Thank you so much. Have fun today. And we'll try to get more videos this week. We'll try to pound out the videos this week. Okay? See you guys. Thank you. All of you from Pocahontas County, thank you.